In this video, I'm going to show you the exact system, strategy, and structure that fashion brands need to implement for their Facebook ads in 2025. I've personally worked with more than 70 fashion brands, spending more than 10 million euros on Facebook ads for them. And in this video, I'm going to break down step by step the precise framework I use to consistently deliver great results for them. For this video specifically, I've created a live example where I take you behind the scenes of a struggling fashion brand's ad account and show you exactly how we transform their campaigns from barely profitable to consistent return on ad spend of 3.5x in just 2 months. When I started working with this fashion brand, they were spending $3,000 in ads and only making $10,000 back at a 2.5x return on ad spend. Their entire strategy and setup was a complete mess. So this was the absolute mess of an ad account that we were dealing with. Insane, like literally crazy. If you look at this, you can see we have 430 campaigns. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I could understand if it was one CBO per country, but it isn't the case. This is just pure spread shooting shots and hoping something sticks. No structure, no solidification in the ad account whatsoever. Let me show you right here a few examples. You can see in this case, we have these campaigns: Spring Naturalist, Traffic Campaign, Middle of Funnel, New Test, Vanish, Middle of Funnel Cold, New Acquisition Camp. Like all of these different campaigns with different names, no structure, no nothing. It's just a complete mess. And if you look into this, we can go into one of the campaigns that says Scaling Naturalist. Before I do that, I want to show you all of these campaigns got a few sales, but they were never able to scale. Never ever. They always hit a plateau, had to scale back down, launch a new campaign. Let me show you why. All of these interests were at the campaign ad set level, and it looks like a mess. 3 purchases, I don't even know, like 7 ad sets within this campaign. Art Nerd ×2, location APS, broad shopping. Like, what even is this? No idea. We were like, damn, this is crazy. I understand why you have a mess and why you can't scale, because if you do not have a good foundation, you will not be able to scale to the level that you want. So this was what we're dealing with from the start, and this was what we had to actually revamp and restructure from the beginning. So let me jump straight into how we did that now. So this is the 5 pillars that we decided to improve upon from the first day. We started focusing on bestsellers, 18-20 rule, 20% of the products drive 80% of the sales, 10 to 20 new creatives with lifestyle formats. We focused on cold audience acquisition, 90% top of funnel, 10% middle of funnel, broader audience, and CRO. These were the first few things that we implemented right from the start, excluding ad account structure. This was literally the things that would allow us to scale, and we knew that from the start. We revamped the whole ad account structure. We introduced our signature CBO Advantage Plus ABO system, ABA Plus. This setup allows us to scale, test, and have cold audience acquisition with minimal retargeting all at once. It keeps the structure of the ad account simple and easy to manage with only 3 to 5 campaigns. In some cases, we introduce a separate middle funnel campaign depending on the brand setup and past traffic history. Now, I do want to say we've since scaled this client to a very significant higher amount, which I'm going to show you in a bit. So we've added 2 more campaigns, which put us at a total of 6 to 7 campaigns. But to start with, going from that initial 3K a month in spend to 5K a day in revenue, you have to have a simple structure, and you need to solidify your ad account, especially if you've been running your ad account, as I just showed you, as a complete mess. So when you have a simple campaign structure with the purpose for each campaign, ad set, and ad, you get clarity on the data that allows us to scale, because we can double down on exactly what is proven to work. Now, the penny is spent without a purpose, and no money goes to waste whatsoever. So what did we base our decision making upon? We started to do customer persona research. Who is the buyer? We considered who their habits and lifestyle persona habits were. We started to include their daily language in our ad copy, who they wanted to be, and what do they get inspired by. The focus here is to define our ideal persona. To scale and sell anything, we first need to know to who, right? So we use our IPS process to do deep market research before we start structuring creative and copy. This allows us to target exactly what we want at the creative and copy level, which essentially is how we're going to acquire cold audience customers. So let me take you through how we actually decided to structure this ad account to start with. Key rules and changes we implement. Advantage Plus campaigns. This is for cold traffic plus a little bit of retargeting. Broad, country, gender, 10 to 20 creators, retargeting cold audience. The simplest campaign you can ever introduce, especially if you already have a lot of data. You can really implement this easily and effortlessly, but still get it to perform. ABO campaigns, because we didn't want to do too much retargeting here, only on the Advantage Plus campaign level, because once again, 90% top of funnel, 10% middle of funnel. That 10% is within the Advantage Plus. ABO campaigns, 2 ad sets, same locations for each acquisition and retargeting ad set. 1 for new acquisition, broad, 1 for retargeting, see ad account, I'll show you just in a bit. 25 to 65 years of age, gender, so men or women depending on who you're selling to, and auto placement. Let's jump straight into the ad account so I can show you what I mean by this. So here we have the campaign structure. Let's jump straight into this first campaign. As you can see right here, we have acquisition ad set 1, remarketing ad set 2. What we've done here is that we've excluded buyers in the last 30 days, and then we have our retargeting ad set where we're retargeting the same exact locations as we are targeting in the top of funnel acquisition. So let me jump straight into that. So as you can see right here, we're currently sitting at a 3 ROAS on the acquisition and a 3.7 ROAS on the remarketing on this. So let me show you right here how we're structuring the top of funnel acquisition ad set. We have all of these locations: UAE, Australia, Spain, Finland, Greece, Croatia, Ireland, Japan, South Korea, Liechtenstein, Malta, Slovenia, and Slovakia. 22 to 65 years of age, women, because here we're selling women's fashion. And here you can see we have a lot of different ads. We have a lot of different ads. All of these are not running. I cannot show you them in details because obviously then you'll be able to see the product, the brand name, etc. These ads are not all running. We consistently inject new ads into the same ad set, turn off other ones, and then we scale the ones that are working. We usually have 3 to 6 ads running at a time within the ad set. Now, if you go into the retargeting ad set, you can see we actually solidified the retargeting process by only having ads to cart, view content, website visitors in the last 180 days, and then social engagement in the last 365 days, always excluding purchases in the last 30 days. Also on the top of funnel, we want cold customers, we want new audiences, and obviously we could exclude people within the last 180 days, but when it comes to excluding these audiences in the last 30 days, we will still see some retargeting, but mostly we will exclude a lot of existing customers. Now, if we go into our Advantage Plus campaign, which is this one right here, then you can see how we actually go ahead and structure this. We have a few different ad sets with Advantage Plus audiences, and if we go into that, you can literally see that the only thing we do here is that we include locations, and then we do a broad audience targeting as well. Going back into our retargeting ad sets, the most interesting thing that we've actually decided to lean upon is including the same locations in the retargeting and separating locations in ad sets. So you can see here in the retargeting, we've included the same locations as we've done in the top of funnel target. So we've solidified it in one campaign, and then in that campaign, we have the same locations for top of funnel retargeting, for top of funnel acquisition, and middle of funnel retargeting. So that is how we solidified this ad account structure. That is how we decided to go about running it at a proper level, actually scaled it with a sustainable structure. Going back into our board right here, I'll walk you through some more details. This brand had not yet identified the ICP, ideal customer persona. We helped them do so by hopping on a call, going through in detail who they wanted to sell to, and then we actually helped them get an idea of how they should sell this product, because they already had an understanding of who they were creating the products for, but not how to sell it, not how to portray it in their ads via copy and creative. We structured a Google Doc. I'll send this over to you, comment doc down below, and I'll send you this document that allowed them to see step by step what content they needed to create and for who. So every time they need to produce new content, they can go back and refer to this document, which allows them to stay on top of mind of who their exact customer is. Once we defined the ICP and the client knew what content to produce going forward, which is always simpler than you actually think, we can create copies and ads that are evergreen. Most fashion brands are pretty seasonal, but 20% of the products drive 80% of the sales, as I mentioned earlier. So we try to have some products that are year-round styles. It allows us to scale ad spend by 20% every 3 days and sustain growth. When we hit the plateau, we then inject new similar creatives to the best performance, as I showed you here in the ad account, where we had all of these different ads, but once again, we turn them off and then we eject new ones every time they start underperforming. Even if stock runs out, or if it's a seasonal items, we can easily replicate this flywheel and do it for new items. If you have a product that run out of stock, if we have a product that is only a summer item, we can then just produce the same set of creative setups and evergreen ads for this new style or new product we want. Just to touch on, on the last thing here, offer or not, depending on markets, price and product features, we sometimes create an on-brand offer that allows us to scale quicker because we can really make customers feel like they're winning. In this case, we did not go with the solidified offer. We simply went with a 10% discount newsletter sign up. So what we decided to do here, going into the ad account one more time, is that we decided to introduce a broad AI, luxury goods, and income ad set level, right? So here you can see we have 15 purchases so far. We've just launched it this month, and you can see that we already had a 3.29 ROAS. The case here is that we've included the best performing interest that has been running throughout the ad account to date: household income and luxury goods. 3 interests only, and this only works in some cases. For most, it does. We still have our completely broad Advantage Plus campaigns running. The other campaign where I showed you with the remarketing and new acquisition within the same campaign, and we have this for a testing set: 25 to 55, women and these 3 interests. We also have a completely broad ad set again within this ad set where we're doing detailed targeting, online shopping, retail, 25 to 60. Both these new campaigns are doing quite well. We've just launched them for a test. The reason that we do this is that even though we have our highly scalable Advantage Plus campaigns and our ABO campaigns that we're just scaling rapidly, we still do these small tests on interest levels to always kind of, solidify the segment and always test new things. So guys, that is it for the ad accounts. That is it for the structure. Now let's go straight back into the Miro board where I show you the last few details. So that is how we took this struggling brand from barely making money to 5,000 euros per day at a 3.5x ROAS through meta ads only. So this is just what we did to get this kind of result: 5K a day, 420% increase. You can see the hours throughout the day right here. Thank you guys for watching. And if you're serious about scaling your fashion brand this year, apply to work down below one-on-one with me, either getting coached by me to scale your fashion brand on the first link or the second link to have us manage your entire ad account setup. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next video.